Hi, guess who? No, it's me. God. Hi, thanks for clicking. I'm coming back at you. Well, I'm only coming back at you, I guess, if you've already viewed one of my videos. If this is the first video of mine you've viewed, I'm uh, I'm coming at you because if you haven't viewed one of my videos, I couldn't be coming back at you. You'd have to have seen a video of mine to come back at. So I'm just coming at you anyway. I'm a little goofy, obviously. I don't do drugs or anything. This is just pure whatever. I'm actually feeling kind of good now, having quit a horrible job that was dragging me down in ways that I couldn't even describe for the last 4 weeks. Even when I wasn't at work, which wasn't very often, I mean, I think it affected it's just like I was dreading it. And basically, I quit on Saturday, 90 minutes, as you know, if you watch my last couple of videos or whatever, 90 minutes into my shift, and basically indicated, obviously I was scheduled to hold for 39 hours this week, scheduled to work Monday through Friday, and basically indicated that I wasn't coming back. So um, Sunday I was partially thinking like, oh, should I try the like 2 4-hour shifts a week? And it's just like, I just felt bad for just quitting on them and stuff. But it's like, in the whole scheme of things, in their whole goddamn corporation, like me quitting isn't, I don't know. I just hate, letting people down, even if the people are assholes. I don't know. I'm just the kind of person I am. So I was trying to think like, should I just try one last thing, the 2 4-hour shifts a week. And I'm just like, you know what? You didn't even make it 2 hours into this shift on Saturday. Why do you think you're going to be able to do 4 hours? So I'm just like, give it a rest. You gave it 4 weeks. It didn't work out. Get the hell out of there. So that's what I did, and I'm feeling considerably better, lately. I mean, I'm not as, I don't know, I guess as just depressed, as I've kind of have been over the summer and stuff, just being bored and lonely and stuff. I'm sure that unfortunately will come back. But, kind of energized a little bit and just enjoying. What's funny is when you have a job you just hate, and then all of a sudden your free time, which you kind of took for granted, returns again, you don't take it nearly for granted as much anymore. So that's interesting. I wanted to come to you now with a video that something that happened today that I thought it's worth making a quick video and following up and continuing the saga of me and just work or lack thereof or whatever, which is an interesting. It's like truth is stranger than fiction. I think that phrase, I agree with it. It's true. You couldn't make this stuff up. So I wanted to make a video, which I'm doing right now, about what happened today, or what I made happen, which was, I don't know, I never really, it's kind of lame. I mean, I can understand how people might think, some people might regard it as lame. I probably think it's kind of lame myself. Something I never thought I'd do when I walked out in June from my job of 3 years, almost 3 years. I've just been saying 3 years because it's close enough. Which was, I'm just so, I maybe not desperate, I don't know, maybe desperate and whatever. I'm just so disillusioned with shit that I'm like, well, what about the job that I left in June? Like, because I know that manager that made me quit was just, I think, just supposed to have been temporary. And then when I was at my other job of 4 weeks, the one I just quit, a former coworker from that job actually was a customer and filled me in a little bit on, that manager that I quit about having left, and another manager actually left and stuff and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, it made me curious. And anyway, long story short, a couple days ago I drove by my former old job, the one I had for almost 3 years that I quit in June. It started basically this whole channel, and my being depressed over that really was a reason for me starting this channel, which I had been meaning to start for a while. I just never had the push until all that job shit was happening mid-June, and that was the whole reason for the starting of this channel, which I'm grateful for because I needed the push to do it, and I'm glad I started this channel. Where the hell was I going? So, long story short, 2 days ago I drove by. I was over in the neighborhood and I drove by, and I'm like, just because when I started there they had a help wanted sign in the window. That was the whole reason. My mom had seen the sign and she's like, oh, they're hiring. So I thought, well, if they're hiring, let's just drive by and see if by chance there's a help wanted sign in the window, and if there is, why don't I go in and show my face for the first time since mid-June and say I'm available. Only if, I can confirm that that manager that I quit over is gone and, I don't know, things haven't deteriorated, whatever. So I kind of feel almost embarrassed for even talking about this. How lame is it to walk out of a job and then go back and, it's just like you got to do what you got to do, It's just like I tried 2 other jobs, and it's just like, fuck. And I probably wouldn't have gone back there had they not had the help wanted sign, but I thought, well, since they have the help wanted sign, maybe I've got a chance. And I walked in there, and I got to tell you, I'm really sentimental and I'm sensitive and stuff. And when I haven't been there since mid-June, since I walked out. And when I walked in, I'm really kind of a sentimental bastard. I mean, this job that really, I guess I kind of liked. I was there for 3 years, and I had a lot of really good shifts sometimes. And I walked in and I smelled what the store smells like, and it was almost like, it was really pathetic. I'll admit it in a way. It was just like, God damn, this is so dumb, and it's like the music that they play over and over for 3 years, the same fucking songs in there that I hated, it's just like, oh, that song, it's just like, it's like 180 degrees. It's just like what I hated, the music and shit that I couldn't stand when I was working there. It's just like, oh, that old song. So I'm not gonna say that I'm not, potentially a little crazy, but it was, like I said in my video from whenever it was, one of my first videos, I quit my job, part 2, it was home. When you've spent 3 years at a job, it kind of becomes home. So long story short, I walked in there and I was like, I don't know, I felt more well received from people who knew me than I thought I would be, like the woman who hired me, and the only manager actually that's still there. They, 2 of the managers are gone now. She's the one who hired me 3 years ago, and she's like, oh, it was actually, I didn't really necessarily like her, but again, because I'm sentimental and maybe a little crazy, seeing her was kind of like homecoming, and it was kind of good, even though I don't really like her. And I'm like, it's good to see you, and and then I quickly said why I'm there. It's just like, if you need any extra, it looks like you need some extra help. And she's like, yeah, well, that'd be fine and dandy, except for you didn't, if you had quit like normal instead of no call, no show, because of no call, no show, you're unhireable, I think is the term she used. And I'm like, kind of obviously what I didn't want to hear, but obviously it's my own fault for having walked out and just never came back. But obviously at the time I was gonna go get another job, or not necessarily better, but just another shit job. When I walked out, obviously the last thing on my mind was that I'd ever, for any reason, ever expected to have to come back and work there, because whatever. I just feel so embarrassed for even making this video. So long story short, I think from what I could tell, I think she actually, if it were up to her, which it's not, she's not the manager, I think if it were up to her and there were no like corporate Nazi fascist rules, she would have had me back, and I think she wants me back. She's like, well, I'll talk to, because she didn't leave it there, she went on to say, like, I'll talk to the manager, she just mentioned his name, I don't know him or whatever. I'll talk to the manager and see what's up. But I think like I say, if it were up to her, I think I'd be back. Which, good or bad, I don't know. But at this point, I think I don't have the motivation to search out a job for the winter, like from starting at square one. Plus anything, I would imagine the majority of what you'd get now would be just temporary shit, which I'm not really interested in. So that's a little bit of, you know, I'm surprised I actually dragged myself in there. I was gonna go yesterday, but I was too chicken shit to go there yesterday, and I made myself go today. And I'm glad I did, you know, because I think, you know, you got to do what you got to do, you know. I quit that job in June because of that particular, you know, manager that was there, and if he's no longer there, maybe I can give it a shot. But apparently, I may have fucked it up by not, you know, quitting in the appropriate manner, which of course I didn't do because I didn't expect to ever have to come back. But maybe that's a lesson learned for the future. Like always, I don't know. Always quit in a good way. Of course, I just didn't quit in a good way with the job I just quit. So I don't know. When you're quitting, you never think you're gonna come back. That's the problem, you know. Otherwise, you wouldn't be quitting. Of course, the situation that I had at my last job of 3 years was different, where there was a guy who I kind of knew, who I knew was temporary. If looking back, I should have fucking, you know, if I could do it again, what I should have done was talk to that woman I talked to today then and said, look, this manager ain't working out for me. I think, you know, I think I even thought of doing that or something, or I had thought of that right after I did it or something, that maybe I could just like not work there until that guy was gone or something. That's all water under the bridge. It doesn't fucking matter at this point. What has happened, you know. So in closing, she did say, you know, I've got your number. So, you know, I don't know if this was bullshit or true or whatever, but she said she's got my number. If, you know, if for whatever reason they're able to have me back, she'll let me know. So I guess I don't expect to hear anything, but again, it's me just trying, you know, it's trying, you know, shit. It's trying, I guess, is what it boils down to. When I saw the help wanted sign there a couple of days ago, I got in a really good mood, like, wow, you know, if they have a help wanted sign, you know, I can't imagine why they wouldn't have me back. Well, that's why, because I did no call, no show, and I'm unhireable, so. It's weird because I feel very hireable, but I'm just kidding. That's a joke, but yippity-doo-dah, man. So that's where we are as of today. Obviously, I'll let you know if my old job of 3 years that I quit this summer, if I'm able to actually go back to that. Otherwise, I might be spending a couple months here, or more than a couple months, basically probably the whole winter, just slowly depleting my savings, and slowly. It's funny because I was always thinking, like, if I spent a winter like not working, I'd go crazy, and it's just like, no, not half as nearly as crazy as you would if you worked your whole winter at that job that I just quit. It's just like, Jesus Christ, there's crazy, and then there's like really crazy. I mean, holy shit. But anyway, we're down the line here on the allotted running time. I just wanted to say this really out of the blue, just news that you probably weren't expecting to hear. I wasn't expecting to give it. I mean, it's just like, how lame is that? Not that I was crawling back to the job with my tail between my legs or anything, because I don't have a tail. And I didn't crawl, I walked in on my 2 feet. So it's just kind of, I understand if, you know, it is kind of lame to be going back to that job, but whatever. You know, you gotta, you know, stick with what works, and apparently that job worked for 3 years, so I thought, you know. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.